Welcome back to the Rundown Podcast. I'm your host, John Breed, along with my co-host, Ben Gorin. Ben, how are you?
I'm doing really good, John. How are you?
I'm doing very well as well. We have two special guests on the show today. We have our team secretary, Caleb McNabb.
Oh, yeah.
And we have our race director, Dominic LaRusso.
Yes, sir.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
I'm fantastic.
Yeah.
So tired.
Excited to be here.
It is, I'm very tired as well. Obviously, finals week is next week. A lot of stress. But anyway, go ahead and both you guys kind of give yourself a little bit of an introduction and what you do on the team. Dom, you go ahead.
All right. So, again, my name is Dominic. I'm a junior. I'm the race director on this team, which basically means, I plan the meet schedule. All those meets we went to, I looked through them all, chose which ones are best for us, and then I plan the home meet, too, which is a little bit more challenging than the meet schedule. I got to find a venue, got to reach out to all of the teams, get a timing system together, measure the course, all that stuff. So, it's stressful the first, couple weeks before the meet, and then after that, I'm just kind of chilling. Haven't really done much exec stuff in a while, except show up practice. But yeah, looking forward to going through the same trauma those 4 weeks in the spring with our home meet then. But yeah, that's about it.
All right. And then, I'm Caleb. I'm also a junior, and I'm this guy's roommate. Basically, we met each other first week of practices, and just like since then, the two of us have been just hanging out together and have had this best friendship and also rivalry at the same time. Like John said, I'm also the secretary of the club, so basically I'm the one who sends out all the pretty looking emails that no one really reads. And
that's evident.
No one, based on the amount of questions that get asked in the group meet, no one reads those emails.
Hey, I read your emails.
I appreciate it. But yeah, I basically send out all the emails and then just kind of generally help out with anything that other members might need. But besides that, yeah, it's pretty much just emails and looking pretty during the general body meetings.
Now, you guys have your own Instagram.
Yes.
Your Kale and Dom run Instagram. You guys kind of give updates on what's going on in running as well as just your lives. But you guys had an interesting week last week, as you guys talked about on your Instagram. You guys want to kind of talk about that? Very different weeks for both you guys.
Our last post you're talking about?
Your last post.
Okay, well, there's two parts. I'll talk about my part.
Yeah.
All right. So I went home for the weekend and raced a 5K that I usually do with my brother and my mom. We do it every year. It's called the Jingle Dash. Just a small hometown race. Really have not been able to train too much because of my shins and all. But I went out there, took the dub, won $50, and ran a 19:32, which I was super happy with. Just a couple seconds slower than Ben's 5K over Thanksgiving. I was pretty happy about that. But yeah, super happy with how my trainings go along right now. Super excited to get the grind going for the winter training season.
Yeah, and then so for me, pretty much opposite. We're back and injured. Went back in. They're like, yeah, we think you have tendonitis. And it had started pretty much after I ran a 54-second 400 during practice, during a little race trials. And then after that, I just had to take some time off. And then when I came back from break, it was still bothering me. Went in, and basically since then I've been going to athletic training at UREC, and then still swimming. Had a new PR for swimming, did 26 laps without rest, and I even stopped early because what I do is at the end of the semester I like having one day I get in the pool and I'm thinking I'm going to go as long as I can, and that's going to be the one day where I see how long I can go, and I'm shooting for a mile. at the end of the semester. But yeah, I'm really excited. Basically did a little under 3/4 of a mile, so yeah, I'm just basically cross-training and resting up.
Isn't this the second time you got injured after a race, too?
But for a different reason, and it wasn't purely off of the race. I just think something went wrong and somewhere along the way, and unfortunately got injured again.
No, so is there any timetable on when you can come back to running? Or?
Oh, I can still run now. I've been doing 1 to 2 mile just recoveries. Just pushing it, a little cross training, but I won't be putting any 5 mile runs out for a little bit. Just gotta get back into it and just kind of get used to doing those miles again. Getting ready for the 800 and spring track. Ooh. I'm ready for it. I'm excited. I want to break sub 2. We're gonna get We're gonna get a 4x8 team going.
Where are you at right now on the 800?
Ooh, I don't know.
Well, you just ran a 54.
I ran a 54
400.
400.
If you can hold that pace, that's definitely sub 2.
Do the math.
That's a painful sub 2. But no, I think I could do like a solid 800. Even though I'm injured now, I could like get through it. So yeah, I'm just excited to see where I can do this next semester.
Now, how much does the swimming like help your running training?
I think it actually, because it's definitely like a full body workout. One, it gives me like a active recovery day, so I can just go to the pool, low impact to no impact, and just really just kind of get a full body workout as well as just kind of loosen up. And it's also just something I look forward to now, because when I got injured this past semester, I would look to swimming to like help rebuild my fitness, and I just kind of fell in love with swimming since then.
All right, so we had a cross-country season this past semester, so why don't you both go ahead and talk about your cross-country seasons?
All right, I'll go. Wasn't great, you know. Shins are still kind of traumatized from high school, but we're working on that right now. I raced that first race. Was it UNC?
Yeah.
UNC something. I don't know. Did not go well. Chapel Hill. Yes, sir. That's correct. Chapel Hill. I ran like 36 something. Was not my best race.
Now, was that the actual time or what?
That was my watch time. The results were all mixed up. Yeah, I don't know what Nurka's going on. Like, I don't know. That was my watch time.
Yeah, they had me like third, I think.
Yeah, that is incorrect. And then did not run the home meet because I was in charge of the home meet. Didn't run tech because I think I was out of town, and also fuck tech. And then I ran UVA, and that went all right. I think I ran like 34 something, a minute behind Caleb, or 36 something like that.
Yes.
But you know, did not hurt myself. And that's a plus, so we take that. But otherwise, there was just an okay season. Nothing special happened.
The UVA meet was the one with the T-Rex. I just want to.
Yeah.
We'll get to that though.
Side note: fuck UVA.
Fuck
Oh,
UVA.
fuck
UVA. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I mean, this wasn't really a season. I was looking, like, I really wasn't training where I kind of wanted to be, or really was trying to aim for. So really, the few races that I did run, I'm pretty happy with, because first was the VT meet, and anyone who ran at the VT meet knows, one, it was wet and had like the conditions were awful, and also the course was nonstop, either uphill or downhill. There was barely, except for one little part around a football field where it was nice and flat, everything else you were going uphill, downhill, or you were stepping in a trench. So the fact that I ran, I believe, sub 35 for that race, I was just super happy with that. And then when it came time for UVA, my mindset was like, I don't want to be last, and I'm not expecting to be top whatever in our like group or whatever, but I just wanted to beat some people. I wanted to beat Dominic specifically.
Right.
But I just went out there, ran, and honestly, I just felt really strong. And even at the end, last 800, I would say, I felt so good that I was speeding up. And there's this one guy before the race I was talking to in the bathroom. I think it was a UVA VT guy. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to go out there, do stuff. And he left, never saw him again until the end, where I passed him in the last 200. And I sprint by this dude. And so later on, when I had posted a picture about the meet, I was like, you know what? We started in the bathroom, ended the line. And I just felt so good. I felt so good seeing him at the end and passing him. But I don't know, so satisfying. Just good races, at least for me, in terms of where I'm at. And I was just happy.
I must say, it's great to have you all here to do this podcast. But I must say, there's definitely an elephant in the room. Okay? Our last guest had a lot to say. A lot to say about a lot of people. I believe he called out just about everybody on the team, including some notables. He called out the entire sprinter group. And he also called out everybody for wanting to play Flip Cup at Beach Week because he broke the lane.
That's on him.
He called out a lot of people, but he mostly had a lot of comments towards you guys, and I know there's probably some things you guys want to address. So the floor is yours to respond to any of our last guests' comments.
All right. Well, Tate says that I keep on getting injured. Partly true, but also I can still outrun him any day of the week. The only thing he can get me on is jumps. I think I can beat him in a sprint. I think I can beat him in any distance. That's all I gotta say about it.
I would back that statement up. I think he'll
people think that, he's a cross-country runner in high school, and I'd be a cross-country runner, and then I would go to soccer, and they'd be surprised that I could outrun him because they thought all I could do is I don't know, run for a little bit. But no, I'm here and I know that I think I can beat Tate in sprints and long distance, mid distance. I think I can do it.
Wow.
Honestly, you 3 in a 400?
Oh, I would lose that. I would.
But no,
Tate
you
did
have
say
to
he
beat
would.
Tate.
Yeah.
I don't. 800 and up, I would kick his ass.
Oh, yeah.
400, I think he would beat me. But give me a couple months. Maybe I'll beat him in jumps. I've been practicing.
I think I could beat him in a 400.
Yeah,
think Caleb could destroy
I will
him.
say he mentioned he could beat you in a 400, but he didn't say anything about
Yeah,
Yeah.
after me putting out my 54, he's been a little silent lately.
Yeah.
you. Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to call him out, but he might have a little bit too mass to go that fast.
You-
I haven't made that joke in a while,
Tom,
but
you've raced him and you beat him.
that was a mile. That was different. It was, like, he didn't stand a chance. Like, I'm surprised he broke 6. I was very proud of him for doing that. And it was super fucking cold. But no, he can't do that.
Now, you guys had a bet where Tate had to run how many miles in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
We
So
talked about that a little bit.
I don't remember how this originated. I think we were just fucking around with each other, and he was like, "Yeah, I can run more than you." I was like, "Fuck it, do it." And he was like, "Fine, 6 miles a day." And we're like, "All right, 6 miles a day, 2 weeks. It's gonna be like 6 consecutive miles, not like a double, 3 and 3. If he did that, he gets a dare on me, which is something that we've been doing all semester. And he was, got like 2-3 days in. I was like still confident, not worried. He got to like day 6, 7, and I was like starting to worry a little bit because he looked good. Like, I saw him running a couple times. He looked good, and then he says that he just mentally fucked up, forgot to run. I don't know if I buy that. I think maybe the miles are catching up to him. That's 42 miles in a week after doing like 0 miles in a week. That's a big jump. I'm not sure if his body can handle it. He says it's a mental thing, but I think it was catching up to him. I think he was starting to feel some pain.
Was there anything Tate said about you that you want to address, Dom?
Oh, well, I mean,
Said you were made of glass? I
yeah,
think.
see,
That was
that's
what-
insulting, but it's true, so I can't really argue with that. I'm working on it. There were some other things he said I don't really remember, but just fuck that guy,
So then the magical question, is Jack Tate clutch?
See,
I don't think a person can be inherently clutch. I think a person has opportunities where they can be clutch themselves. And if we look at a track record, Tate in the past is not normally clutching up these moments. So you could, maybe someone could argue that he's not clutch in that way. But you know what? That's all I gotta say about it.
in my opinion, us arguing about this every single day, it's giving him too much attention. It's boosting his ego a little bit too much. Oh, everyone's talking about me. I'm so cool. I mean, I'm not even going to answer the question. We talk about him too much. He's not that cool, guys. Like, it's just Jack. Like, whatever. He's washed up. He's old.
People don't even use his first name. They just have to say Tate.
Yeah, no. Sorry, buddy. No comment.
Well, I will say, I believe every podcast we've discussed whether Tate is clutch or not. But I must ask this question because he proposed if he wins triple jumps at nationals.
Yes, he and I talked about this during our mile race, like before, or as afterwards. We were talking about whether or not he was clutch. He's like, all right, well, what if I win natties? I was like, yeah, sure, you win natties, that's clutch. Like, that's ever going to happen. And, like, I'm rooting for him. Like, sure, like, that'd be awesome if he did that. Great for the team, great for him. What are the odds of that actually happening?
You told me the record's at 46.
Maybe it is, I don't know.
That's what he says, but...
Okay, in his prime, maybe he could have gotten, like, close to 40. I'm not sure how jumping works, but, like, he says he's going to train, but in reality, he doesn't have that much time to train. Like, a few months, there's no chance. There's no shot. Sorry, Jack.
Damn.
Rooting for you, but no. Sorry. No.
This rivalry continues.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
So speaking of rivalries, you two have a little rivalry going.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
All right.
So besides me and him being best friends and like we love doing stuff together and being on teams together, we also can't help just naturally being a little competitive. So whenever we're in the same class together, we compete on quiz grades and test grades.
One of us is competing while the other one's cruising towards easy A's. I'm competing to catch up with Caleb as he gets an easy A every single time. That's not a competition. That's just me striving to beat you when it's never going to happen. Actually, I think it happened once.Maybe I tied with you during nutrition.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
but then just like in other things in general. So whenever we play like a video game,
he wins.
No, it's a competition. It's a competition.
And Dom, do you lose this competition?
Yeah, I lose.
He's being too hard on himself. He's better than he gives himself credit for.
Uh-huh.
But so in our apartment though, we finally came together against the girls in our apartment. So we decided to have a little competition, me and Dom versus our two female roommates, Alex and Jill. And part of it is we have like a punishment at the end of the semester, and we're going to continue it on next semester and have a punishment for that semester and a punishment for all together if you lose. So this semester's punishment is the losing duo has to go to Waffle House for 24 hours.
Oh.
But every waffle they eat while at Waffle House is 30 minutes off of their collective time.
The classic Waffle House challenge.
So they have to sit there and just keep on eating waffles until they can go home. And then
and they will be doing that.
They will be doing
it.
Right
They are losing. They are losing.
We are definitely like at least 7 points ahead of them.
Yeah.
And then our end of the year punishment, since we don't have a spring semester punishment yet, end of the year is the losing team has to be the beer bitch for the other team for the entire week at beach week.
Oh.
And we're keeping it to the house because we don't want to be like, we're all at the beach, we're like a few minute walk from us, be like, hey, walk back. Like, we're keeping it to at night when we're all there.
Yeah.
Like.
So you mean like they have to buy your beer? Is that
No, they have to go get it.
Yeah, like if I'm chilling on the couch, someone get out, Joe, go grab me a beer real quick.
Yeah.
You have like 2 beers in hand. Go get me another beer.
Yeah, so for like those who weren't at Beach Week last week, we had like a 3-story house, and basically all the drinks were on the bottom floor.
Yeah.
But half the time we were all up on like the top floor where the couches were, the table was, all this other stuff. And so you would have to go down like the flights of stairs to get your drink, come back up. So basically, like if we're at another house like that, same house or anything else, they're the beer bitch for the entire week. Or whoever team loses.
Yeah, and we could lose. It's
Hypothetically, we could, but we're in it to win it. We're in it to win it.
Are the points carrying over to the spring, or is it like
for
a
that
full
challenge?
reset?
Yes.
Yes, for that challenge, but for the spring challenge, it'll be a whole new set of points, and we'll just combine the two to figure out the end of the year.
Yeah.
And you mentioned your guys' rivalry, but there are rivalries like within our team. Like which ones kind of like stand out to you guys?
We got me and Caleb.
Yeah,
we got
and then
Tay Jack Hughes.
Yeah, Tay and Jack Hughes, obviously. I feel like among the sophomore groups, I think a lot of the sophomore guys have little rivalries here and there. It may not be as public as me and Dom, or Tate and Hughes, but I think there's a lot of rivalries within the sophomores.
Yeah, there's just a lot of testosterone there. It's a huge male class.
Yeah, it is. So which rivalries in particular? Like which
There
people?
was, who ran the 2 mile last year? Was it Sean? No, it was Lee and Josh.
It was me and Josh.
You and Josh, yeah.
Yeah,
And you two
and
had
then
your
me and
rivalry.
Josh
is still definitely salty about that 2 miles.
Yeah.
A little bit there.
Lee and Josh had a little something too for a bit.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I remember that. It's just, it's not like huge rivalries, but definitely like little things that get them going.
Something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of, I think, breaks the idea that like our team doesn't really take the running seriously, which like. I mean, we don't take it too seriously, but like when you have kind of a rival and you're going back and forth, it makes it fun, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're no tech, but.
Yeah, but also when we have our competitions, like overall, like they're for fun. Like at the end, we know we're messing around, and it's fun to compete against each other. Like it really is. Me and Dom, all the time, if we can do something against each other, it's fun to team up against each other.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. And I mean, there are times where it might get a little overboard, some might get a little serious or whatever. But
Throw
like
back to Beer Olympics last
Oh
year.
my god.
back to Beer Olympics last time.
We're not going to talk about that anymore.
But it's just that we know at the end of the day we're still friends, and it's all for the fun of it, and it makes it more interesting. It really does.
Yeah. All right, we have some rapid fire questions for you guys. Ben,
All
go
right,
ahead.
I'm ready.
So I feel like our team meme at this point, Cars 2 or 3?
2.
Three.
No, 3.
Three.
Why
Three.
is it 3? Cars 2
Three.
is so bad.
3.
Cars 2 is not even a Cars movie. It's just a spy movie that says we can throw cars in it and ruin it.
The only good part of that is how much Mater carried it. I mean, Mater's a goat, but the Cars 2 movie overall is
Cars
bad.
2 is not good.
Well, I've already rested my case why I think Cars 2 is better than 3, but I will say it was really funny, Don. You went out of town last week. And of course, Jack Hughes and I were always putting in the chat like
Watch
Cars
party.
2 watch party,
Watch party.
Yeah.
And so the one time you leave, we're like Elf watch.
Oh, I'm literally Buddy the Elf, and you guys watched the movie without me?
I don't think we actually watched the movie.
You probably
But
blacked
I
out. You don't remember.
But I don't think we watched it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down to go to an Elf watch party,
I
but
feel like half the times you guys send watch parties, it doesn't end up happening.
Okay,
It really doesn't.
No, there was the one time it was a Cars watch party, and I go over there, and we start. Jack Hughes spends about 30 minutes trying to rent cars. He can't do it. He eventually spends the money to rent it, but it doesn't get rented, so he gets mad about that. Yes. And then he's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna buy Disney Plus.
Buy it.
I showed you it.
I spent $4 to watch Cars. I'm gonna buy Disney Plus. I'm
about to start crying.
Video.
And so we start watching that, and we were just texting in the group me like what was happening during the movie as if it was our first time ever watching it. And I felt so bad because I know
I read all those messages.
I felt so bad because I'm like I would be annoyed.
Going on for like an hour.
Yeah.
Just there's like 200 messages.
No, there was
just
over
play-by-play.
300.
But it was funny because I was there for the first half of it, and I went back to my apartment, went to sleep. I wake up the next morning, and I have 150 unread messages. And I'm like, this could be double if I wasn't there. And I don't know, those watch parties, I know people can get annoyed by the group chat sometimes.
But it's so
I
fun.
just think it's so
They're
funny. I enjoy
And we
it.
almost watched Cars 2, and John was blacked out after initiation.
Yeah, I got. Oh.
Yeah.
That's a whole other story.
Good time.
I'll have to
Good
write
time.
it. Hey, maybe we'll do an elf watch party tonight after
Hey, maybe. After I kick your ass in the case
after our
race.
little competition.
I gotta support Dom. He's gonna beat you, dude.
Sorry, man.
I have to support
I'm
him.
sorry.
John might be
Everybody
the
likes
sleeper.
an
This is.
underdog.
I mean, he
Everybody
might.
likes an underdog.
They do,
No, I'd love to
but
do
I
that.
like winning too. With that, on that guy's side.
I do like winning.
Well, hey Dom, I have a question for you, specifically for you.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on Mott's fruit snacks?
All right. First of all, it's nothing against Mott's. It's just the fruit snacks. The first time I met John, it's just this new guy. Like, nothing against him. This guy kept shoving fruit snacks in my face.
so
I don't want you to
many
have
fruit
fruit snacks,
snacks.
alright? Leave me
So
alone.
many.
And then, it kept happening. John and I were fucking with each other, turned into a really funny joke. Fuck your fruit snacks. Fuck you, whatever.
Yeah.
One day, John brought over his fruit snacks, caked all over my apartment floor in the morning. So I think, it'll be funny to call him out in the group me. Fuck you, John, don't bring your fruit snacks over. Everyone thought I was serious, and now everyone thinks John and I have beef. I don't care about your fruit snacks.
It was funny though. On the ground, it was like they were completely smushed, but they were also like mixed with like whatever the beer, whatever else got spilled. And it, like Jillian is trying to clean up. She grabs a knife and it's like scraping off, just trying to clean it up.
But I saw in the chat and I'm like, what? I'm like, why are you blaming me for this?
No, looking back, it definitely seemed a little bit harsh, but it was all jokes. I was just trying to fuck around with you. It's hard to portray sarcasm over text.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. So we're all in a fantasy league together.
Oh yeah, yes.
Who's going to win?
Not me.
Not me.
I'll make playoffs, but I'm not gonna win.
All right, wait, can I say something really quick?
It's not gonna be you.
Blake. Blake, just lay down. It's over.
No, yeah.
He can
Stay
still
down.
beat
Hey, you laid out too, John.
John, stay down.
Blake can still beat
I
you.
know he can. It's over, Blake. Just lay down.
I honestly, first half of the season, I was gonna say me, but CMC's out, my roster's kind of falling apart. I gotta go with Casey.
Casey's
honestly.
got
I think Casey's gonna get it.
Yeah, I would hate for him to happen, but I think it might be Casey. Casey might win.
He's on a 10-game win streak.
He
Oh yeah,
is.
he's rolling right now.
Of course, the one time I play against him, the Patriots get 26 for defense and 16 for a kicker.
Yeah. That was a-
Oh, I couldn't. There's nothing I could do about that.
So then the other side of the coin, who's gonna go two bottom losers?
John and Blake.
I mean,
It's John and Blake.
Yeah, it's
We're
legit.
currently in discussions on what their punishment is because we were gonna have them do a Carolina Reaper for last place and Trinidad Scorpion for second to last
And then
because
some of us
it's
decided
painful.
to be sane
Yeah.
and not go with that extreme punishment
I
and
think it was
destroy these
fine.
poor young men.
As someone who ate the Carolina Reaper in front of other people, it's a great time. I think they should do it. I think they should 100% do it. There's
you.
nothing wrong with it.
We can still incorporate it. We can still incorporate it.
I'm not a part of that. I don't know. Some of you guys listening, you might have seen me after that Trinidad Pepper. It's not fun at all. See, rolling on the ground.
I'm just gonna
outside
shout
the
out
lines.
Richard for letting me have his extra milkshake because if he didn't let me have it, I might have been in a bad spot after
Yeah.
that.
You had like 3 milkshakes in like 10
No,
minutes.
I had 2, and then I had to buy 2 more. One to buy for Richard because I drank his, and then I had to get Blake one because Blake might have actually died in that parking lot if he didn't get something.
Same with you.
No, Joe had to cart me away. I requested a ride home from Joe.
Yeah.
I got out of there. I was in bed for like 7 hours until Tate FaceTime me, said best 24 hours ever, let's go.
But no.
And I was revived. But other than that, I was in severe pain.
But I'm so glad because I remember Blake and you had taken my spot in the car back. So I was walking back with the team, and whoever was there, they know this. We were walking by these guys who were selling lemonade in front of
my
their
God.
house. And they were there when they were coming there. We were there when they got back. So I was like, hey, Josh, can I offer this guy, like, the Trinidad Scorpion? He's like, I mean, yeah, she can offer him one. I go up to him, and I'm like, hey, do you want a pepper? And before I even finish asking, he takes it and completely bites it. He completely eats it. And for the next 10, 15 minutes, we just see this poor frat guy break down on like the corner of the street. All of us, it's like 10 like cross country people laughing at this guy as he's crying. His roommate comes out of the house like, "Why are you crying, dude?" And he's like pouring lemonade on him. And
that was the best part.
we were just dying of laughter for like 10-15 minutes, and we got like some videos. And we were doing intramural soccer, and after one of the games, I saw him, and so I went up to him. I was like, "Hey man, I'm that guy." And he like daps me up or whatever, and he's like, "Fuck you, man."
He curses you out. Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't try to kill you.
Like he said it with a smile, but he was like, "Fuck you, man." And he's like, "Yeah, man, whatever." It was so funny though, and he like walked away, and I don't know, it was just such a good time.
All right, Dom.
Yeah.
Who broke the proper 12 bottle in your apartment?
Bro, all right, another source of our quote beef. I was told John broke a bottle. Fuck, I'm drunk. I'm gonna go beat the shit out of John or tell him to clean it up or whatever. I find John, go clean up your bottle. I didn't do it. So like, I'm trying to fight with John. Later in that night, I find out, oh, actually, I think I slapped a beer out of your hand because you were like throwing beer at me, and then I stole your hat or something.
Yeah.
We almost like got into a fight.
It was
just a misunderstanding. Both drunk idiots going at each other. Later, I find out John didn't even break the bottle. It was some other idiot.
Do you know who it was?
No.
I know who it was. It was Robbie. Robbie broke it and he turns around like,
idiot.
We love Robbie.
I was talking to Rob. Me and him were walking back, and he was talking to me the entire way back about it.
Yeah. That's after Beer Olympics, right?
Yeah, it was after
He felt so bad. And our apartment, though, was disgusting. It was a mess. We
didn't take a break from hosting after that. Yeah, I apologize for almost fighting you.
Well, I will say, I was mad that you blamed me, but I will say, I mean, it wasn't that far-fetched.
There's a proper bottle broken. John's drunk. It's gotta be him.
It's the only one who's associated with Proper 12 is John.
Yeah.
So it's the logical.
The guy with the Irish hat, the Irish flag, the Irish face paint for
I
Beer
thought you were
Olympics.
just mad you lost or something.
It wasn't me.
I mean, it wouldn't be totally
The guy for a week straight at Beach Week was just preaching about his love of Proper 12.
Yeah.
All right, so a question we've asked a lot: why does Dean get so much shit for the practice schedule?
I think it started back with some of the other exec.
It's just carried on.
And it's just carried on the hate. And in Dean's defense, part of it is when you're making a schedule, like at least if I were to make it, I don't know what sprinters want to do.
Right.
Because I've never been a sprinter. So part of that is him having to go off years past. And if people were mad at years past, they're going to be mad at him now.
Yeah.
And also, it's kind of just funny to get mad at him for no reason.
It is. It's also like other people are like having their own schedules. Like, you know, I'm doing a lot less mileage than other people, so that's why like I don't really do the workouts that often because they don't really fit my fitness right now. So like it's hard to make a workout plan that suits everybody on the team.
I definitely think Dean gets a lot of like unfair like
doing
flack for
They're
it.
good workouts. It's just workouts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I forget who said it, and it might have been Dean, but I think I understand the team has like a constitution.
We do, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think it must have been written in there somewhere that like no matter what you do, no matter what practices you put together, people will complain.
I don't know that, but I really hope
I
that's in there.
haven't read it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I think
if that was in
Dom,
there.
if it's not there when we're
Yeah,
there next year, we're gonna amend it.
That thing is pages long. I read a little bit of it and I got tired. I couldn't read the
I
whole
think it's
thing.
probably like an 100-page constitution.
It's so large.
Wow.
Well, we have an amendment for it.
If it's not there, it will be soon.
All right. Which one of you guys is faster?
Caleb.
Me. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want it to be like like it's really close. It depends on the day.
No.
But I think in general, I am faster than Dom.
That is.
Well, in terms of like sprints, right?
No, in distance.
Well, no. Even
Oh,
distance.
distance?
I
Yeah,
don't think Dom has beaten me in a distance event before.
Yeah, I haven't ever.
All right.
I mean, you know.
I mean, I want.
Still kicking, I'm still running.
He's still going.
One of us has tendonitis right now, so we'll see how spring season turns
Could you
out.
beat him right now?
Oh, absolutely not.
I think
No.
I would still commit to the win.
Yeah.
I would still. And, you know, I've done athletic training. I'm better now. I can do some stuff.
Oh wait, I must interject before you ask the question.
Mhm.
What about a beer mile? Who wins?
Caleb would win.
Really? Well, Dom is our
I think-
defending beer mile.
Oh,
beach
that's
is.
one reason for that is because Caleb was not running.
That's right. That's right.
I remember during Beach Week, everyone else was out of his corner, but I stuck by it because I knew that Dom was going to be there in the end,
Yeah.
crossing the line at the end. I was so glad that I could be the guy to hold his beers for when he came back.
Yeah. My only competition was like Andrew, who wasn't taking it seriously, Tate, who dropped out after half a mile, Hughes, who was, I can be Hughes, and then BJ, who didn't take it seriously. I feel like BJ could do well in a beer
BJ,
mile.
I think BJ would
took
definitely
it
will.
seriously, I think he
Yeah,
could
because
beat-
BJ can drink and BJ's quick. BJ's
BJ's
really
fast.
fast. Yeah. He's like been consistently top 5 on our team,
I
like
remember,
in distance. Too.
Every cross country he said, "It's not my day, guys. It's not today."
Just
He would be like a minute behind. I'm like, what the hell, dude?
He's so fast.
I will say, running a beer mile, that is an experience.
It's,
I mean, that is hard to do.
It is, yeah.
I do think though, if Dom were to beat me in like an or anything, it would be that, and I think he would get me possibly like based on just like holding in the amount.
Oh yeah.
I think that's where he would get me. I think I could like if he started drinking and he beat me like whatever it was the shotgun. I think I would be able to catch up to him, but I wouldn't want to play catch up with him for the entire mile. That's just not. That's not a good position to be in.
I feel like Caleb can drink faster, Caleb can run faster, but I don't know, I guess I have experience running while super fucking drunk.
That's true.
Alright, so the last of our rapid fire. Who's better at Smash?
Oh, Caleb. That's another easy.
No, well...
All right, well, if you give me Kirby...
If you give him Kirby, it gets a lot closer.
But yeah, if we both go random character, Caleb wins 9 out of 10.
Because for the longest time, when I like was learning how to play Smash, not learning, but playing with more experienced players, I would just always pick random. Because if you pick random and you get a bad character, you can use it as your excuse that you suck.
Yeah.
And so I just kept on playing random. And so now I'm just used to it. But now I found like my 2-3 characters that I really like to play against, and I feel like I'm pretty good at. And I think I can get Dom on some of them. I can.
Yeah, no,
but he can get me too.
Yeah, if we're going random, I'd say give it to Caleb almost 9 out of 10 times. If it's our mains, maybe half and half, maybe leaning a little bit more towards Caleb. Because like Kirby's suck and go off the edge doesn't really work against Mewtwo, and you use Mewtwo sometimes. So.
And it really just depends on the character I'm using against him, and if I'm playing smartly against Kirby.
Yeah.
Who's the best on the team? Who's the best team?
Honestly, I might give that to Dean.
Dean's really
Dean
good.
did beat you at UNC.
Dean did beat me and then beat me with a slice of pizza.
Correct.
Yeah. I think that you brought that upon yourself.
Oh, I was definitely being a cocky
Okay.
asshole that night.
Well, I just want to say something. Freshman year, we had this little Smash tournament for a fundraising point. And I go there, I'm in part of the tournament, but I have to leave early to go see this play for like the gen ed theater class I was in. So I have to leave after I win my quarterfinal like match, where I came back a few stocks and I won. And so when I was done with the play, this tournament was already over, people had left. So technically, I'm currently an undefeated semifinalist in Smash.
Yeah, from 2 years ago. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, so we've talked about a lot today. We talked about Jack Tate, of course. We Dom and I squashed our imaginary beef. But I understand your roommate Jill has a question for both of us.
Yeah. So I'll
Brace yourself.
Yeah, this is. So hypothetically, you have a clone. Okay, it's a clone of yourself, and there's no way you're getting out of this. You're having sex with your clone. Okay. Now, when you're having sex with your clone, is it incest or is it masturbation?
What is going through Jill's mind to where
She asked me and Dom this while we were eating at E-Hall.
Yeah.
So now you guys get it in a more comfortable setting.
We'll tell you our interests after you give it to us.
Uncomfortable. This is on the podcast.
So
The whole world can hear this.
So John, is it incest or is it masturbation?
I guess it's masturbation. I mean,
Okay.
this is.
Okay, we have our answers. But
Yeah. Ben, what about
Ben?
you?
It's incest.
Inside?
Tom, your answer's way better.
I have reasoning behind my answer. See, you have a clone. If you have control over this clone, then that's masturbation. If you're controlling the clone, and it's basically that you're masturbating. However, in order for it to be incest, you got to think to yourself: Would I invite this clone to Thanksgiving dinner? Like, would I invite this clone to Thanksgiving dinner? And later go upstairs and like fuck a little bit. If in that case it'd be incest. But like if you got
Would you bring this clone to New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve. Would you do that? But if you've got complete control over that clone, that's masturbation.
I think in this case
It's just like a sex doll at that point.
I mean,
I'm gonna go with the incest side. I've thought about this more than I would like to admit. Waking up at night thinking no, I'm gonna change my answer, and I would go back to sleep. I'm incest. I'm incest. I'm incest.
I feel like with like incest, like it's you're technically related to it,
But
Right.
it's you.
Yeah.
It's you, so you are related to
but
it.
it's also then not like it's a whole other being at the same time. So you're related to it, it's another thing. It's not you.
Yeah, so it's
Right.
not. Yeah, it's not
But
masturbation.
I don't know. It's
I
complicated.
guess.
Complicated.
What goes through Jill's mind?
Oh, that's even more
Wait,
complicated.
So
hold on. This
that's
is-
a whole podcast
is
in
this
itself.
sober or is this drunk Jill?
This is so.
This was
we
sober
were.
Jillian.
This was during lunch on a
I don't
Tuesday.
think drunk Joe doesn't think that much. She just slaps.
She slaps way too
I
hard.
feel like this is gonna end up being a new rapid fire question. Everybody that comes on.
We'll be like one of like the most innocent people on the team. Like so.
Bring my gun.
And it's like the question isn't would you have incest with your clone? Like what is it? It's you are doing it with your clone. What is it?
You're stuck.
All right, and that is going to conclude this episode of the Rundown Podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram at @the_run_down podcast. Ben, anything else you want to say?
I'm very excited for our next guest.
We do have a guest coming up next week. The guy who likes to play the M-word game. That's the guy
The
who's up
creator of the M-word game.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Wow, your guests are still here, and you're already talking about your next guest before you get out the
I
door.
feel a little bit hurt.
Well, if you,
Should we just leave
if you
him?
listen to every episode, we lead in at the end with our new.
Oh, I just thought it'd be different with us.
Yeah, I thought we were a little special to y'all, but I guess not.
Oh, no.
A special,
Guess
a special
not.
2-guest podcast, but no.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Dom, you want to say anything else?
Like John said, like and subscribe, leave a comment. Support the boy. Support the boys.
You want to plug your Instagram, Kalen Dom?
Oh yeah, m.dom.run. That's our Instagram.
There you go.
Yeah, that was. I'll comment it. I'll go to the YouTube video and comment
There
it.
we go.
Yeah.
Caleb, what about you?
After talking about some incest, I think the best way is just good luck in exams, everybody. Like right now, extremely stressful time. I know a lot of people just have a bunch on their plate. Maybe you have multiple exams on one day. Maybe it's just a class you are just not good at, or maybe you're just trying to keep that A or keep that B. Just good luck out there, and just the grades won't define you. Just don't stress too much about it.
Good point.
Wise
Good
words.
Wise words from Caleb. All right, everybody, that's going to be it. This was The Rundown.